Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Hey, look, man. The secret society was in full effect last night. You know I got to talk about the secret society. Hey, I truly believe someone got into that damn Charlo's ear and told him, look here, guy. Take this $100 million and don't get cute in that ring. And Charlo said, yes, sir. I don't want any problems, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Secret Society. Just give me that $100 million. I will not throw my hands, but I will throw the fight. Look, man, who expected Canelo to get in that ring and go the distance with Charlo? Who expected that to happen? Now, when it comes to betting, right? Y'all paying attention to all that? Majority of people were betting on a KO. But there is a concentric few, which I believe the secret society, who put money on this fight going the distance. Y'all not paying attention? Who would have expected this fight to go the distance? Charlo and Canelo was supposed to be the boxer-puncher versus the puncher, and 75% of that fight was supposed to be a mash-up, crash-up. But what we got in there was Charlo. He didn't even try to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. He was floating like a butterfly the whole fight. Matter of fact, he didn't even attempt to coochie-coo Canelo. So then Canelo goes on to win what he feels. Canelo said, I'm back. Nobody can beat me. I'm ready for effing everyone. I'm ready to F up everyone. Any effing body, Canelo, my man, you talking crazy. That was a less than spectacular win last night. But I just have to stop and draw attention to Charlo being taller, being rangier, Charlo being explosive, Charlo being a guy who likes to find a way to win. But last night, he really wasn't making an attempt to do everything. And I'm going to tell you why. I did a video about this already. When you feel that power, it make you think twice. But at the same time, when you have success, if you're watching that fight, when there was a couple of times where Charlo let his hands go, and Canelo went back, leaned back, and was kind of, showboating. But that's the same thing he did when he was fighting Bivol, when he was getting touched. He would kind of, go back and lean back and try to, showboat and play it off like he wasn't getting hit. But that can motivate a fighter to let his hands go. But you can watch when Charlo's throwing his shots, he was half committing. And I really think it has a lot to do with not wanting to upset the apple cart. Not getting cute in the ring. Y'all got to understand, man, there's so much stuff that goes on behind the scenes in the sport of boxing. Charlo can't afford to get cute in that ring. And when you look at it, we talk about his subdued state during the whole build up to it. True, he has respect for Canelo. Okay, there's no question for that. But maybe let me ask you a question: does Canelo have the Mike Tyson intimidation factor? Is that what it is? Was Jermell Charlo mentally defeated before he got in the ring because of what he's seen Canelo do to people in fights? That could be something. Is it truly what I said, that, hey, he felt that power and he wasn't trying to hear it? But see, I tend to think I think both of those things were factors, but I truly believe that secret society had a lot to do with it too. When I look at the fact that the damn majority of people were betting on the fight not going the distance, and then a handful put money on a decision win for Canelo. they made off like bandits. So how'd they know to put money on this fight going the distance? Man, let me tell you something. At the end of the day, man, that fight with Charlo and Canelo, that was no contest. Canelo retains his belts, no problem. He goes on to fight whoever he wants next. But let me tell you something. 118, 109, 119, 108, 119, 108. I truly felt that Jamel would have tried more. You know, hey, fight him. You got to fight him, man. You know, you got knocked down, you get buzzed, you got to fight him. And you look at Charlo, people talking about, oh, he's small, he wasn't in shape, he was getting tired. Jamel Charlo wasn't getting tired. He didn't get tired at all. You don't go 12 rounds and slipping punches the way he was and having the legs, lateral movement and all the stuff he was doing. Let me tell you, people who say that he was tired in the ring, I'm gonna assume they never trained, they never sparred, they just never trained. You know how hard it is to bend at the waist, to have someone pull your head down, headlock you, for you to bend your legs, for you to lean to the left and right, to get out of the way of punches. You know how hard it is to do that in one round for 3 minutes? Now you thinking about doing over 12 rounds? Man, get out of here talking about he wasn't in shape. He was in great shape. He managed to get to that 12th round, didn't he? He did go down from that one shot, and Charlo admitted that, hey, it buzzed him the first time he felt that. And he was smart enough to say, let me just take a knee and kind of reset. And I was impressed with that. But with Canelo, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You know, I just don't know. I just don't know. Now I'm telling you, I think Canelo's great. I think Canelo's solid. But man, we got to see, at this point, we got to see Canelo fight David Benavidez. Like, we have to see that fight. That's all I'm saying. That Canelo, is Canelo in the same situation like Terrence Crawford, where he's not getting the credit that he deserves because of his opponents he's facing, because he makes the fight look pretty easy, and now you want to give him the credit, but it's hard because you feel like he hasn't really faced a real threat. And when Canelo faced Bivol, that was a real threat, and we saw what happened. But outside of that, the other guys he fought, were they just there to get paychecks? Look how Kovalev went down. It's the same Kovalev, man. Look how he performed in the ring against Canelo. You're telling me you're going to go from having these dominant performances in the ring, man, and giving Andre Ward hell, and then all of a sudden you're just going to sit there and let Canelo beat you? All I'm saying is, for Canelo at this point in time, hey, you checked the box. You came over to the PBC. You had an undisputed versus undisputed. Jamel bubbled up two weight classes. And he didn't get cute in the ring. Okay, it is what it is. He did not get cute in the ring. And Canelo got the lopsided win. But going forward, it's time. I just think it's time for Canelo to really get in there with somebody. If Canelo wants to puff up his chest and talk about, I am back. You want to talk shit? You talk shit to me? Okay, mother effer. You talk shit. I'm eating sandwich. I'm ready for everyone. I'm ready, everybody. I'm ready. Okay, fight David Benavidez or fight David Morrell. Like, I really think that's what needs to happen. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I have to look at that and say, I'm not so sure David Benavidez beats him. But if David Benavidez gets there and he decides to reduce his punch output, and he says, you know what, man, I'm not getting hit by this guy, that just means that, you know what, it doesn't matter who you put in front of Canelo. Canelo's the man. But I'm going to tell you right now, you know, for anyone out there who's saying, man, here we go with the excuses. I'm not making any excuses. I'm just saying I think it's unfortunate for Canelo that he's from Mexico. And the reason I say that is because with the way he's out here winning fights and dominating fights, and the whole thing with the damn eating the damn Mexican beef, and He got Mauricio Suleiman, who's there out of Mexico, and now Canelo's been allowed to do what the hell he wants in the sport of boxing. You can't help but sit there and start to think, man, that the damn secret society and Canelo are working in concert with each other. But don't get me wrong, Canelo is getting in there and doing the business. He is. It's just something about that whole fight didn't seem right to me. But I'm gonna tell you from experience, like I said in the video I did last night, I know how it is when you get in there and you have a plan, and you're ready to go, and then you get binked, and you're like, whoa, I don't really want to deal with that again. And when you let your hands go, there's a possibility of getting caught in exchange, getting counterpunched. Canelo's a good counterpuncher, and those are things that were showing up in that ring last night. You know, Charlo was looking to throw shots. And then what happened, he was so worried about what was coming back, and Canelo was closing the gap on him. And then when Canelo got ready, he wasn't even throwing a soft shot to set up Charlo. He was going hard in every shot. But if he goes to the body hard 2 or 3 times, then he would automatically come up top. If you threw a looping shot 2 or 3 times, then he would automatically straighten it up. So that's how he was able to set traps and get Charlo to open up a little bit. So Canelo had Charlo guessing. But Charlo just lost his right to complain. And everybody, you know, even Terrence Crawford went out there talking about Jamel Charlo went from a lion to a pup. Canelo basically, you know, manhandled him, you know, had him scared. And Terrence Crawford talking about he didn't take risks and stuff like that. He had too much respect for him. And it's easy for people on the outside to come now and talk shit, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, when I saw Charlo slump to that canvas, I said, okay, that didn't look, at first I was like, he didn't look like he caught him. Then they showed the replay and it was like, okay, he caught him good. And people who were saying that wasn't a real knockdown, that shot was like up there close to the temple off the top of the head. The body responds differently when the punch is properly placed. And Canelo knows just where, look, Canelo been fighting for a long time. He knows where to place punches. And if the punch lands correctly, how that will affect a fighter's body. Okay? So to me, I do think the secret society had a little bit to do with Jamal getting that money, not getting cute in the ring. But also I think at the end of the day, no matter what, you know, Alvarez showed a lot of us why he deserves to be the #1 pound for pound fighter. But still, you know, he's got, I just think he has to fight David Benavidez before he calls it a day. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, he's probably the best Mexican fighter ever. But I just think he needs that fight. If he can get in there and beat David Benavidez, I just think there's nothing left for this man to do or talk about. Like, that's going to always linger over him. I mean, even though you got Terrence Crawford, and, you know, you look at the ascension of Terrence Crawford as far as the 2-time undisputed and the pound for, arguably the pound for pound best in boxing, right? Let me tell you something. If Canelo really wants, in my opinion, to have people receive him outside of Mexico as the pound for pound best, right? Which a lot of people do, but I mean, look what Crawford did to Spence. A lot of people didn't expect that. There were some that did. With almost everyone Canelo fought, people expected him to get in there and do what he did. I personally think he lost the first 2 Triple G fights. But if Canelo gets in there with David Benavidez, nobody is really expecting him to go in there. And if he can do the Benavidez, what Crawford did to Spence, well, now we've got something to talk about. And I don't think anyone, no matter where they're from in this part of the world, would start to argue about Canelo and what he brings to the ring. I think that will erase all of the doubt that people have about Canelo and what he brings to the ring. At the end of the day, masterclass performance by Canelo. You know, he says boxing made him what he is today, and he doesn't feel that anyone beats, you know, this present version of him. But I'm going to tell you what, people talking about Benavidez height, Benavidez reach, and how that's going to be a difference. Let me tell you something. Charlo was taller by 4 inches and had a 3-inch edge in reach. He never used it. He ended up getting backed up, and it didn't really offer anything for Alvarez to be worried about, so Alvarez had his way. But I'll tell you this, David Benavidez has that same height, he has reach, and we just have to see if David Benavidez is going to bring his balls into the ring, because Charlo obviously wasn't allowed to bring his balls and get cute, because the secret society, in my opinion, they got a hold of him. and they let him know, don't even try to get cute. And I think for Charlo, maybe he thought about it. You know what? I'm gonna try to do something. But even when he felt that power, it just made him say, you know what? Nah, I'm cool with this 150 million, 200 million, whatever the hell they gave him to take that fight. And he was like, man, I'm gonna sail off into the sunset. That's why he's not upset, because it's a win-win for him. He don't care about that loss. This man made a bunch of money. That being said, let's see what they do next. Let's see what they do. Canelo said he doesn't want to fight Crawford. He's not on his radar. It just doesn't seem realistic. But let's see who he fights next. Let's see if the WBC, they got Benavidez as the mandatory. Let's see if that happens. Let's see. Because I just don't think Benavidez is going to be another Charlo. But if so, then Canelo's the man, or the secret society is still getting their way. Shout out to the veterans, 7 continents in the breeze.